A football ground is far more than just a place for a team to play, as a ground with a long storied history can really help to build the identity of a club. While a stadium that is brand new and state-of-the-art can provide amenities and a high level of comfort for its fans, it's not always necessary. And in this video, I'll explore 5 football grounds that I personally think are unique. This can mean unique in terms of appearance, where the stadium is built, its history, and so on. These stadiums are not in any specific order, and the order I put them in this video is not relevant to the quality or any sort of ranking. With all that being said, the first stadium I'll look at in this video is Stade Louis II, which is the home to AS Monaco, and unsurprisingly is located within the Principality. The stadium was first built in 1939, however the current version of the stadium was rebuilt between 1981 and 1984, before opening on the 25th of January 1985. The stadium currently seats a total of 16,360 spectators, which is almost half of the total population of the Principality. While the stadium sits above ground, underneath the stadium houses a vast majority of the facilities, which include the Gaston Médecin Multisport Center, the Prince Albert II Aquatic Center, and a large parking lot located directly underneath the pitch. For me, this stadium had to make this list for a number of reasons, and the first of which being the location. Obviously, Monaco is a very glamorous location in terms of Formula 1, as the Principality hosts one of the most iconic races. Beyond being famous for Formula 1, the location is very significant when you look at the stadium, as it is located right in the middle of the Principality, with views of both mountain ranges and the sea from within the stadium. The shape of the stadium is also very unique, as the one end has a collection of arches, which help the stadium feel more open and give the spectators an even better view outside the stadium. While only being one tier of stands, they are all weird shapes, and fitting in with the weird shaped roof that overhangs the seating, it gives the stadium a very unique look, as it almost looks like it doesn't work together, but it really does, and it's quite an architectural gem from inside the stadium. While I personally don't like the running track and don't think they belong on a football stadium, I understand why it's there. As it's the national stadium of Monaco, it needs a running track for track events. I think it fits the stadium well though, as well as a running track can. I think the ends might still be pretty far away from the pitch, but the one benefit the stadium has, it has a small footprint. So I think it actually would be a lot closer than some of those really big Italian stadiums that have the running track that you end up sitting really far away from the pitch. I'm also a big fan of the exterior and roof from the aerial views and from the street view, as it looks almost like condos or apartments, and it really matches the architecture of surrounding buildings. And from some angles, it really just looks like an apartment building. So yeah, I really like that, and I think it's quite interesting. This stadium is one of my favorite in the world of football, and I definitely think it's my favorite in any of the top 5 leagues in Europe. It just looks so unique, and it's one I really want to visit at some point. The next stadium I would like to mention is the Estadio BBVA, which is the home to CF Monterrey of Liga MX, or the First Division of Mexico. The Estadio BBVA is located in Guadalupe, Nuevo Leon, Mexico, and was first constructed from 2011 to 2015, and officially opened on the 2nd of August 2015. The Estadio BBVA cost $200 million in total, and has been the home to CF Monterrey only, and also has a capacity of 53,500. This inclusion should not be a surprise to anybody, as the view from the south end of the stadium, looking to the northwest side of the stadium, and the Cerro de la Silla mountain range with a peak of 1,820 meters, has certainly made its rounds, and I've seen it on my Instagram reel, I've seen it on just websites in general, so yeah, this has certainly made its rounds. It is the perfect view of that mountain, as the roof perfectly frames the mountain, and in my opinion, it's the perfect backdrop to a football game. You can take in the match, and if you're sitting on that side, you get a perfect view of a big mountain as well. It's pretty great. While I think that this view certainly carries the stadium in terms of uniqueness, and rightfully so, the exterior is very nice as well, as the Estadio BBVA has a futuristic silver exterior that wraps along the whole stadium. And from the outside of the stadium, The exterior is visibly lower on the side which opens to the mountain, which again would help the view as well, but I think it gives us this unique asymmetrical look from the outside that I really like. While maybe not the most unique in terms of seating, the exterior and view make this stadium one that I'd personally love to visit if given the chance one day. My third inclusion is perhaps my most controversial, as I was debating if it should be on the list or not, but I decided to include it in the video, and that is the Victoria Stadium in Gibraltar. By far the smallest stadium on this list, as it has a capacity of 5,000, but has some key features that make it very unique. The Victoria Stadium was constructed in 1926 as a British military sports ground, but in 1970 was expanded for civilian use. The first feature that makes the stadium unique is the fact that all Gibraltar football clubs play out of this stadium. While this is not surprising, as Gibraltar has a population of 32,600 and is a very small territory in terms of its geographical space, however, it's still very unique to have every team play out of one stadium. The second reason this stadium is unique is that it sits at the foot of the Rock of Gibraltar. As a result, the stadium has a very beautiful view of the Rock of Gibraltar from the ground. While similar to both Monaco and Monterey in that the stadium has a great view, this one differs because the stadium is so small, there's basically a perfect view from the rock from anywhere in the stadium, because there's no big facade that it has to look past or anything. The stadium itself is very simple, and doesn't have much in terms of seating, as it's only 5,000. There's a couple stands on the one end, one big stand, but that's basically it. But what puts on this list is that there are not many stadiums in the world with a view like this and that close to a mountain. And that, along with the playing situation, I had to put it on the list. With all that being said, I'm patiently waiting to see what the future holds for stadiums in Gibraltar, as the Gibraltar FA released plans for a new stadium September 8th, 2023. It is unclear if that project has officially started, or if it will involve a renovation or demolition of the current ground, or a completely new ground being built. So yeah, I'm patiently waiting to see what happens there. The next stadium on my list is the Mmabatho Stadium in Mafeking, South Africa. This stadium was built in 1981, holds 59,000 spectators, and was designed to be multi-use, but has mainly only been used for football matches. The stadium is located 300 kilometers outside of Johannesburg and is near the border between South Africa and Botswana. The stadium was home to the Mmabatho Kicks of the now defunct Botswana Professional Soccer League, but after that era ended, teams and events left the stadium, meaning the only events the stadium still sees are charity matches and neutral ground matches between South African soccer clubs. This stadium has certainly caught my eye a number of times, and not necessarily for the right reasons, as the odd layout of the stands create what I would describe as the most unusual stadium structure I've ever seen. The stadium has an almost diamond shape, which creates stands that do not face the pitch, meaning that for football matches, there will be spectators that would have to drastically turn their head for the entire match. But I honestly think those sections that don't face the pitch wouldn't be good for any sport, as I originally questioned if there are any track events that would be better viewed for those seats, and I couldn't really think of any. I think the aerial views of this stadium really speaks for themselves, as I can't imagine there'd be many good seats past the initial triangles on the side. Everything else is really far away at weird angles, and I think it looks kind of cool from far away, but I think it almost doesn't look like a stadium. I don't really know what I'm looking at when I see it from far away. While I don't think this stadium is particularly beautiful like the others, and doesn't have a great view, being unique does not always mean good, and I do not think a list of unique football grounds could have been made without this one. The last stadium I want to mention in this video is the Stadio Pier Luigi Penzo, which is the home of Venezia FC and is the largest stadium located in Venice. The stadium opened in 1913 and is named after World War I pilot Pier Luigi Penzo. The Stadio Pier Luigi Penzo is the second oldest stadium used continually in Italy, and currently has a capacity of 11,150. The stadium sits on the eastern edge of Venice, and like much of the edges of the city, is located directly on the water. This creates some very scenic aerial photos, and from some seats, boats and the dock can be seen behind the stadium. In terms of architecture, the Stadio Pier Luigi Penzo is quite simple, as it is made up of stands on all four sides of the pitch and are not connected to one another. While small and simple, I think it is still a good looking stadium. And pictures from the stands show the stadium is great for spectators, as the stands are really close and the views look great. It's very clear that this stadium's location is the main reason it's in this video, as to be in one of the most famous cities and on the water is so unique. This location really makes up for the simple design and amenities that come with the stadium, and I do think that the footprint of the stadium makes it clear that it can't really be much bigger. It's right on the water, the city itself is pushing right up to the stadium, so in its current spot, I think it's almost as big as it could be. And I think really the only way for expansion would be either to move, which I don't think would be a good decision, as the stadium in its position is so unique, it's so eye-catching, and the aerial photos are so nice. Thanks so much for watching. The channel is rapidly approaching 200 subscribers, and I wanted to thank everyone who has watched, liked, subscribed, and commented. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if there are any stadiums you think should have been included in this video, leave them in the comments. I hope you all have a great day.